A lot of important people talked on Friday afternoon about how appropriate it was for NASA Langley Research Center to dedicate a spectacular new laboratory facility in the name of the celebrated human computer Katherine G. Johnson. But Johnson herself did not mince words in her pre-taped comments, which were played to an appreciative crowd at the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Asked her thoughts on the idea of a Katherine G. Johnson computational research facility, she replied, "You want my honest answer? I think they're crazy." Johnson, who turned 99 years old last month, became an unlikely national celebrity when Margot Lee Shetterly's book Hidden Figures and the subsequent Oscar-nominated movie adaptation told the story of the black female mathematicians whose precise computations were critical to the early successes of the U.S. space program. She has been honored with the Presidential Medal of Freedom and spoken on stage at the Academy Awards, but through it all she has humbly repeated that she was simply trying to do a good job. "I always like something new," she said of the new facility bearing her name. "But give credit to everyone who helped. I didn't do anything alone, but try to go to the root of questions." See more videos. The speakers at Friday's ceremony included U.S. Senator Mark Warner, Governor Terry McAuliffe and Hampton Mayor Donnie Tuck. Warner presented Johnson with documentation of Congress's official recognition of her contributions. U.S. Representative Scott Taylor offered praise in a recorded video. Shetterly, whose book ensured that Johnson's legacy would no longer be hidden, gave the keynote address. The hour-long dedication program prompted multiple standing ovations. NASA Langley Research Center Director David Bowles provided context by describing how the work that will be done in the new laboratory will be vital to NASA's plans to put humans on Mars within the next 2 decades. But, no matter how mighty your computers are, at the end of the day it takes people to use those computers and the innovation and brilliant ideas they come up with, Bowles said. "What we're really doing is taking lessons learned when Katherine and her fellow human computers calculated spacecraft trajectories with paper, pencil and adding machines and applying them to today's missions. With this new facility we will continue to advance the same techniques that she used to such spectacular effect." "I can't imagine a better tribute to Mrs. Johnson's character and accomplishments than this building that will bear her name." Media members were given a brief tour of the $23 million, 37,000 square foot research facility that consolidates 4 Langley data centers and almost 24 computer server rooms. The building will have 13 miles of copper network cabling and 97 miles of fiber optic cable and a combination of regular and high-density computers that will be dedicated to work on NASA missions. Eric Weiser, Deputy Director for Center Operations, said the computers soon will be simulating the tests that for the past century have been done in NASA Langley's famous wind tunnels. The building is divided into sections, separating comfortable office space from a more sterile, loud and intricately climate-controlled computer laboratory. But on Friday the focus was as much on Johnson as on the new facility bearing her name. "Your imagination, as far as you can reach, is only limited by your willingness to take on great challenges, and Ms. Johnson represents that so well," Warner said. The notion of what she and her colleagues were able to do with paper, pencil and adding machines and, most important, just that plain intellect is a remarkable accomplishment. McAuliffe said that Johnson's name belongs at the top of the list of great leaders in Virginia's history. In concluding his comments, he addressed Johnson directly as she sat in the front row surrounded by family. "Today is not about putting a name on a wall or on a building," McAuliffe said. "Today is about every young student, or every young African-American girl today, who goes to school and says, 'I too can be a success.' Today is not about names. It's what you, Katherine, have been, a trailblazer, and all those young women who follow behind you and have the courage to do it because of you." Holtzclaw can be reached by phone at 7,579,286,479 or on Twitter at Mickey Holtzclaw.